Matt, thank you for joining us. Hey guys, I got Matt from Barambah Lures. You know, Barambah has been such a big name in the last 1-2 years. We've been making really mad stuff like BG Wong. Oh, this is a manic budgie, the BG Wong. Awesome baits for your cord and stuff like that. So good that people are actually beginning to copy your design, eh? That's a different story.
It's been happening for a few years in the timber stuff, so that's why I went mass
so
production myself.
If you guys don't know Matt, Barambah Lures used to make timber lures handcrafted. He actually carved it by hand and used to sell it in the Lure Expo in Ipswich. And how much is the most money you got from one lure?
About $380.
$380 for but that was how Barambah Lures got its name. Like, people will pay $300 for a lure, and then Matt's like, oh, you know, I'm just going to go China and do it in plastic, and so everybody can enjoy his lures. So anyway, I'll start the interview. Matt, everybody that comes into our show always have to answer this first question and the last question, right? So I'm sure you've done your homework and you know what question. Okay. So the first question we ask, right, is what is your first memory of the fish you caught? Where was it? How did you catch it? And how old were you? Like the first fish?
I got a really strong memory of my first fish. It was when I was 4 years old at Lake Broadwater on the other side of Dolby.
Okay.
With my dad and my brother, and it was just on a bamboo pole on a float as a dewey, dirty old eel-tail catfish.
Oh, okay.
That's what I grew up fishing.
Freshwater.
Fishing freshwater.
Where's Dolby anyway?
Out past Toowoomba.
Okay, cool.
So remember catching that. And,
on bait or?
Yeah, just on worms.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I've come from very humble beginnings with my fishing. Absolutely.
We all did. I grew up on the streets. Actually my parents were pretty good, but yeah, that's good. That's good. So bamboo pole, hook, and bait.
That's it. And a float, just bob on it, and then.
Is that how you started fishing and loved it because of that, or when you grew a bit older?
I was just fascinated. We were I even remember Dad's old station wagon. I was in the back seat, leaning over the back of the seat to play with the fish all the way home. Like,
oh, okay.
I was just fascinated with.
That would be considered animal cruelty these days.
I was dead, but we obviously kept them, and but no, I just remember that was my first experience. It was so vivid. You know, and just remember everything about it, and just taken with fishing from then, like just absolutely gone and being a mad fisherman since then.
Awesome. Okay, the other question I want to ask you is, so you've been in the fishing industry, like Barambah Lures is not Matt's first gig, right? So Matt's been in I've known of Matt in pure fishing, but what was your first fishing job, and how did you land it?
So I did 14 years in the army, and then I left.
I was in the army too.
Yeah.
What were you doing in the army?
I was a mechanic in Ramey.
Doing what?
I was working on Max and Mercedes trucks and Land Rovers, and I went to Darwin, did labs up there, the labs APCs.
Okay.
Yeah, so was a mechanic.
Yeah.
So I left that and I went straight into making jig heads. So I started nitro jig heads from scratch.
So when you started nitro jig heads, were they part of pure fishing or not?
No.
Okay.
So I did it for 3 years as nitro jig heads, and I just couldn't keep up. It was just going, soft plastics were just booming in the early part of the 2000s, and I couldn't keep up, and you know, TT were going really great with what they were doing. I just couldn't keep up with everything that was going on, and I just went and saw the guys at Pure Fishing and said, do you want to buy it? And I sold it to them, and then with a 3-year consultancy thing that ended up lasting 12 years working for Pure Fishing. Okay, so Pure Fishing bought nitro jig heads and put it under Berkeley, right? Yeah, put it under. And then you worked for them as a designer or something like that? Yeah, just designed for them for 12 years. Okay, so why did you, is that a sensitive question? Why did you leave Berkeley and start Barambah? What was the reason? No, well, I just got into the cod fishing and got mad on making the timber lures. I was doing that as a hobby on the side, and I just wanted to do more of that. And I was trying to get some of those lures into the Pure Fishing range, and they didn't want to go down that avenue. And they sort of pulled back a little bit on development a few years back. But there's a few changes going on. They're going full speed ahead again now, but they're just pulling back on what they were developing at the time. So I was just super passionate about that creative and cool and innovative lure design, and and not getting it to market. And then things I was doing in timber were starting to get copied by other manufacturers in plastic. So I went, well, time to start going down that road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, big companies, obviously like Pure Fishing and stuff like that, they have to, you know, cater to the general public, and sometimes they just think that, you know, the cod market is too small or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what I wanted to do was too niche for what they're doing. So yeah, that's why I wanted to go down that more. Okay.
Another personal question. So designing something for Pure Fishing, which is made mass produced for like a big brand like Berkeley, compared to making something that is more niche market but not so mass produced, which is more fun?
It's definitely good to have a lure that people's out there fishing and catching lots of fish on. That's a good thing, but I certainly really enjoy the more creative and more niche stuff and more top end sort of.
Yeah, I think you're really, really lucky in the sense that everything you create, everybody loves it. So I think Matt's very different from a lot of lure designers, because he actually designs lures that he wants to catch things on, you know, things that are pretty innovative. Like, I think Barambah, to me, I still love Steve's Cranker Crabs.
Yes.
I love Steve's Cranker Crab, one of the best things that ever came out from Australia. And then when I saw the BG one, I was like, fuck yeah, it's so good. Like, you know, nobody's ever thought of it, you know? Like, when you go to Copton and stuff, you see all these big 3-meter snakes and stuff like that. It's like, why hasn't anybody thought of a lizard? So that was really, really, to me, something that I was like, oh man, I'm so glad. Like, we got really, really good people with ideas in Australia, and I'm so glad that me as a retail tackle shop, we get a chance to sell this thing and share the products. Okay, Matt, I want to talk about some of your products anyway. Because you're a good friend, and I want to also try to use this platform to push your stuff. These jig heads, I know you try to sell me what they call?
Flatty jig heads.
Flatty jig heads, right? Like, Matt tries to sell me them. I'm like, nah, man, I don't really want to buy them. Like, you know, they just jig head. But after I opened the Gold Coast store, everybody's been asking me of this jig head. Can you tell us more about this jig head and what's so different between this and, example, like a nitro or something like that? Or
well, this is it's a bit more of that niche-ish market. Like, it's not a mainstream jig head, so it's a painted jig head. It's a bit more keeled, and it's a bit more specific to the flathead fishing. So it's not a light wire hook and it's not a heavy wire hook. It's fairly finesse, but it's very specific for flathead fishing, and particularly, I guess, for the southeast Queensland market. But that's where it sort of stems from. But it, you know, applicable everywhere else, and done in a range of weights and hook sizes to suit the plastics you want to use for flathead. I've been fishing the Flathead Classic since the very first one. I sort of missed a bunch of years in the middle, but I did the first few, and I'm mad about it, and sponsoring that event this year for the first time, so I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, we've got 6 different models in those, in the bright colours as well as a natural sort of colour, and you've been out there doing a bit of fishing with them and having really good success. I'm looking forward to the Classic this year. Alright,
sweet. So this is the flathead that everybody in the Gold Coast has been crazy and asking me about. We are finally getting them sent to the Gold Coast tomorrow. Okay, so that's one. And Matt, you want to tell us about any other things that you want to show us? Like, what do you have here? What do you have here that's open?
So that's the bony shad. So,
oh, by the way, this is all new products that Matt just brought out. Like, when did it come up from the container?
Monday landed.
So this is pretty much, is this the first interview for products?
This is the first thing. I've only just finished packing orders. This come from my warehouse is only 10 minutes away from here. So
so this is like the first sneak peek, the first review for Barambah Lures new stuff.
100%.
Okay, for you guys, so just enjoy,
So we've got 9 hard baits in the range now. We had 2 originally, the Bidgewong 200 and the budgie, Manic Budgie. We've now got 3 swim baits, 2 divers, a baby Bidgewong and then a giant Bidgewong. So we just expanded the range, and the 3 swim baits all have an interchangeable weight system in them.
Yeah, so all the lures that you, do they all come with a screwdriver?
Yeah.
They all come with a screwdriver, so then you can, like, example with this one, I mean, this is the first time I've seen it, so apparently you can undo the chain, pull out the weights, and then change the weights that is provided in there. So they're pretty much all custom design, you know, tunable to what you are fishing and what scenario you're fishing these lures in. So
yeah, that's it. You can fish them from you know, fairly shallow water right through to sort of 30 foot of water.
So what's this called again? Sorry.
That's the bony shad.
That's the bony shad.
So he's basically a herring or a shad profile, very thin in the body, and got the deeper profile on it. Yeah, they've all got the toe point on the head, so they're not like a glide bait. They're more of a mid-water to deep water sort of swim bait, because they've also got aluminium side fins on them. This is all like the same with the mullets as well. We've got two sizes of mullets. Yeah, so they actually sort of swim down, and then so they've got really good action on the drop. Okay. So you can fish them almost like a soft vibe. Okay. So you can fish them down, and then you can hop them. You can feel their action on the hop, and then you swim back down. Or on a constant retrieve, they've got a super slow action on it. If you go to my YouTube channel, Barambah Lures YouTube, you can see all the actions on there on all the different lures. Okay, so that's I mean, to be honest, this is the first time I've seen. I don't know the names, but they just look so cool. Right. I remember back in a few years ago when I started this business, remember, you couldn't sell a jointed lure to anyone. And these days, all that sells are jointed lures. It's crazy. Back in the days when Mikey first came out, remember Mikey on clearance? Nobody wants a Jackal Mikey, you know? It's so hard to sell, but right now it's, you know, jointed is the new craze, you know? So they're super lifelike too, with soft fins and the look of it and everything. So
So what is another question, right? So what is the difference? You know, like some people don't know, what's the difference between a single hop body and a jointed lure? What is the difference? I mean,
well, it's more of a lifelike action on it. Yeah. So the action on the hard body, if you've got a bib on it, if it's jointed, which we've got with the baby perch, right? So it's a single jointed diving crankbait. So the action of the body moves depending on the length of that first segment is how far it'll move. And then it just is a lot more lifelike. Like a normal thing, it'll have to swing its whole body length, which has a lot more action sometimes. But these are a more subtle action, more lifelike action, and sometimes that's what the fish want. Yeah.
So, Matt, another question I want to ask you: do you use one lure, one hook manufacturer for all your hooks? What are they? What are they equipped with? Split rings and hooks.
Yeah, well, all of the 5 of these lures all come from the one factory, and there's BKKs on all of those. Okay. So they're ridiculously strong. I didn't realise how good they were. Until I've started using them and seeing them on these lures. For their wide diameter, they are ridiculously strong.
Okay, and split rings will be BKK?
I think so, yeah. Okay. I should have checked on that, but they're like, they're good split rings that won't let you down.
So if you use it for a jack and stuff like that, do you recommend upgrading the hooks for jacks, or they should be strong enough?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so there you go.
Jacks and barra, like those BKKs are, you know, if you're going to start going fishing 50-pound braid and 80-pound leader, you want to upgrade them. Okay. But on your standard 30-pound braid, 30-pound leader, you'll be right. Okay, cool.
I mean, obviously, hooks always open, depending on how you use it, what fish you hook up and stuff like that. So I'm not saying don't change your hooks. I'm just saying that it should be enough for 90% of the fish that you.
That's it. Out of the packet, that's going to work. All of my lures are got hardware designed for Australian fish. Okay. Yeah. So that's the bidgy ones. These come from another factory, and those hooks are made to my specs. Like a factory that makes hooks to my specs. They're the same ones that make the jig heads. Okay. The hooks are made to my specs, so they're not a particular brand. They're custom hook. Custom hook. But yeah, these are BKKs, and I'm seriously impressed with those. Okay.
Guys, if you want to ask any question, you can ask. Just type in the question, and if I see it, I'll ask the question. All right. So don't be shy. I'm still going through some of this other stuff. Like, so what else do we have? Like, this is the baby BG. Oh my goodness, they come with. Can I open it? Yeah. Oh. Okay, so it comes with, you know, like how the normal BG doesn't have a plastic tail, right? No. So the new BG Wong comes with a plastic tail. It's pretty cool. Like,
Need Humphrey to come and show close-ups. That's a close-up of him. So he's 2-piece, paddler only. Is that too close?
I don't know. I can't see because we are.
Yeah. So it's got a TPE tail on it. You can change that out. It comes with a spare tail if it's damaged. This one's got BKK hooks on it as well, and it's got a really loud rattle in the back chamber there.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
that should suit cod, toga, bass, and jacks as a paddler. That one.
As a jack, you're gonna use this for
Yeah,
jack.
those guys in Bundy ordered them specifically for jacks. I love paddlers.
Oh man,
Yeah.
so that is the
And
little brother of the original BG Wongs.
Yeah.
Are they new colors? They seem like
Yeah,
new
there's
colors
2 new colours.
for the BG Wong. So
So
that's the big one. That's
there's
the
the 3 sizes.
oh, so there's 2 sizes.
200 mil, 285, and then the baby.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Adam just asked a question, right? Do you make any poppers?
No.
No poppers? Why?
No. Everyone else does poppers.
Oh, okay, okay.
I can only do so many lures, and I don't like doing something that someone else has already done. I want
Okay.
to push the boundaries and do something cool, creative, and innovative.
Okay, cool, cool. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody does poppers.
Yeah. So
This is so much more, like, just way cooler in my, you know. Another lure that I love, right? Because when Matt came in with this prototype, what they call the baby perch.
Yeah.
Okay, and it came when Matt first came and see me. It had a shallow bead, right? And I said, Matt, why don't you make a deep diver baby shed? And then here it is. So I'm gonna claim my rights to this lure. This is an Ivan designed lure, all right?
No, it's the other way around.
What's that?
Yeah, I had that one first, and you said I want a shallow one for Jack.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my
So-
input. So
this
yeah.
is the 8. Yeah, so it's the same lure. Comes with an 8-foot bib or well, it says 2 separate lures. You don't get one or the other. It's either 8.
Oh, so you can't change the blade on them?
No, so
Okay.
just to keep the price down, it doesn't have the screwdriver and parts, but
Yeah.
it has, that you can get the same lure in either 8-foot or 16-foot bib. Yeah,
Yep.
again, BKK.
So
trebles.
this I can't. Jeremy, can you come in for a while? I can't see why a jack will not eat this because I'm Asian and I want to eat this. So they come with BKK hooks. They look so cool. They look like a bit further up, bro. Yeah, they are so cool, jointed. How much is that? That goes 8 meters.
8 feet.
8 feet, so about
Yeah,
3
yeah.
meters. So your jack, pretty much jack. Which Adam, you just asked a question. How heavy it is? What is?
It's about 22 grams, I think.
22 grams, so about an ounce. Slightly less than an
about
ounce.
just
Yeah, a
about
6, 8 or 7, 8.
3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what is so cool, man. This is going to kill. I reckon jacks will eat this
Yeah, absolutely.
every day. Like it's just, and it's shipped in a little baby bara, a little big fat baby bara. It's so cool.
We got it in Spangle as well, and
What's Spangle?
Spangle perch.
Color, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
there he is, Spangle perch.
Yeah. So that's a spangled perch color. So would you consider this as a saltwater or
Yeah, absolutely for both.
for both? Yeah.
Yeah, salt or fresh.
Yeah, cool.
I've already caught cod, yellows, bass.
You know, usually in my show, I don't want to talk about products, right? But man, this thing really excites me. So I'm going to spend the next whatever minute just asking Matt about this lures because I am actually really, really excited because I've been calling Matt, when's the new stuff arriving? When's the new stuff arriving? He's like, bro, I'm unpacking my container and finally it's arrived. So I'm actually asking him questions that I would ask if I wasn't doing this show anyway. So I might as well ask the question and you guys get the answers from the horse's mouth. What's next? What do we have next? Oh, this is pretty cool.
Baby mullet.
This is a baby mullet, so it's
Yeah,
different from this one.
Yeah, so this is a mullet profile. They're stapled up, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
we're opening them up.
Yeah, open it up.
So we've got 2 sizes in the mullet. We've got 120 mil and 150 mil.
Man, this is this the same?
No, that's the bony shad.
That's a bony shad.
Yeah, so that's the it comes out. So that's the baby mullet. He has an interchangeable weight system in him as well. Comes with spare parts container.
So you still have your screwdriver, and then are they weights?
Yeah, there's weights.
Okay.
There's lead weights or ABS blocks. You can also put some scent in that chamber.
Oh, you can put scent in the chamber.
yeah,
so
so-
the chamber is under the chin.
Chamber's under there. You can't see it. So
I'll show.
I took it to iCast and to show this stuff off in July, and no one saw it because it's hidden. No one even knew.
Oh, okay,
like,
so-
you've really got to smack people in the face.
Yeah. So this there's a screw underneath. Unscrew that. You can even put scent in there,
Yeah.
and change the weight and stuff
Change the
like that.
weights, make it sink fast or slow. So
So I remember, Matt, when you first came in and you showed me the prototype, right?
yeah,
A lot of the design has got to do with the fins on the side. Sorry, the fins on the side, like those fins. And what do those fins actually do?
So they actually give it stability to the body, but they also make a track a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So it keeps the front segment.
Jeremy, good.
Yeah. So they're parallel. You got the toe point on the top of the head, which makes a difference. Most swim baits, the toe point's on the nose.
Yeah.
So they're going to pull up.
Okay.
But this one, with the toe point on the head and those pec fins, it keeps it tracking
okay.
at that depth. So
okay. So when you say the track on the depth, means like if let's say I wanted to, like let's say I worked it out, it drops a meter a second.
Yeah.
So if I want to fish, let's say 4 meters, I'll count 4 seconds, and I just and you'll just stay at 4.
At a slow roll, it should stay, like depending on how fast you're retrieving it, it'll stay deeper than a standard swim bait anyway. It'll pull down.
Okay.
And it also gives it that little bit more action, really lifelike action. Once again, check out those YouTube clips.
Okay. So do you actually have in your YouTube channel, do you actually have a channel where you show us how you change the
yes,
all that stuff?
Yeah,
so guys,
all those videos on the Barambah Lures YouTube channel, you can see all the different lures, their actions, how to change out the bibs, all the colours.
So guys, if you actually buy one of the Barambah Lures and stuff like that, and you don't know what's happening, you obviously can go to Barambah Lures YouTube channel, and Matt will show you what the screwdriver for, what's the weights for, and all the little bits and pieces.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
Matt, what's the next one?
We've done the 3 swim baits. We've done the baby perch. The hectic yabby's not here yet.
The hectic yabby is Corey's. Corey has got some input in that too, doesn't he?
He's got a backup idea which I've developed.
Okay.
Which is in development. Won't be out till next year. But it needs a bit more testing, but I'm keeping that one under wraps. But as it is, it's freaking awesome.
Okay, so what is this hectic yabby that's coming up? Have you designed it yet? Production is just not ready.
Production got put back because I redid the mold a 3rd time.
Okay, why?
Because the buoyancy wasn't what I wanted of that. And also it wasn't, because it's got TPE claws, if it landed on its back it wouldn't flip over easy. So you want a lure that flips
on its
quick.
own.
So I had to make it more buoyant and then add more lead to the bottom so it flipped quicker. So like I sort of, it cost me...
Okay, I'm just going to say something, bro. This is the difference between buying a $5 lure and buying a $30 lure. You got somebody that actually cares about how the bloody lure drops on the bottom and how fast it flips. When you buy a Chinese lure from Wish or whatever that's $3, they do not think about this kind of stuff. They just say, oh, this is rubber, we'll just use any rubber material. This is plastic, we'll just use any plastic material. See, when you actually buy a lure that's that is really designed and tuned by somebody that actually does the fishing, it makes a difference between a $30 lure and a $5 lure. That is like why we pay what we pay for a fishing lure. It's not just, oh, it looks like the same shape, it's going to do the same thing. So a lot of thought, like from a designer point of view, is being inputted into a lure that we actually use and we sell in the shop. And it's awesome to always hear. It's always exciting to hear why things are done a certain way, why things are, because there's actually thought that's actually being put into the design of the lure.
No, everything, I've spent a lot of time developing and testing and working everything out, but the hectic yabby in particular was the hardest one to get right of everything. Even these guys took the swim baits take a while to get your balance right, your amount of weight in each segment, your hook positions, everything, but the hectic yabby is hardest of all because it's something totally different. But the action, again, look at that YouTube clip of the action of the claws on it, is wicked, and a couple of guys are fishing down in Victoria for yellows are just super excited about it. They're getting really good results on the yellows and the cod.
Support local, like local designers and stuff, because people like Matt actually put a lot of time and passion into designing their stuff. And you know what, Matt, I won't be surprised when in a few years, there will be people that copy your, design. Like, it happens. If you have a good product, people are definitely going to copy it from China and stuff like that. So support local, and hopefully.
You just got to do it. Just keep on trying to do something different and
innovative all the time.
We've also got to do the marketing and the
sales. It's really not easy to come up with something that's always the forefront in the industry. So, you know, like, I'd like to thank you from all us anglers. We really enjoy this shit. You know, we really do. As much as you enjoy designing this, we actually enjoy chucking this shit around.
I'm stoked that I can actually have it in a tackle store now, because I did it for 2 years in timber, and I couldn't keep up, and I could never supply tackle stores with it, because I couldn't keep up with just my Facebook sales. So I'm stoked that people can go into a shop and buy it now.
Yeah, awesome. What we want to talk about the Bijigong, just quick. This is one of the first lure that, to be honest, bro, I like the Bijigong.
This was the first one, the 200.
Oh, okay, the 200.
That's the new big one, the 285.
Okay, so what's the?
So this is
just the size.
This is like 96 grams.
Yeah.
And this one was 60 grams.
Okay.
So it's a lot bigger hooks, a lot bigger noise. Yeah.
Everything's bigger.
Everything's bigger fish.
Bigger fish. Okay.
So. Yeah, they both come as paddlers, all weight baits.
Okay, you want to show us, I mean, I'll just quickly open this up. This is like the YouTube and unboxing toys. You should give me a sponsorship for one of everything. No, just kidding. You do it.
Right, yeah, so give them a bit of a push first.
Okay, so, man, this is really like the YouTube unboxing toys for kids kind of thing.
That's it. So that's the, it's written under there, 96 grams, 285 mil long, and it comes with the weight bait bib in it, but you also have a paddler bib in the packet, and you've got spare screws and screwdrivers so you can change them out between the two. So I'll give
Jeremy a go.
Jeremy to show there. But this was one I did in timber for ages, like my main sort of selling dragon. Yeah. Also did the smaller one, so when I first bought it out, sort of, because I was just sort of feeling my way into the market. Yeah. I just did the smaller size originally. Yeah. And it's got good
feedback and response.
Catching plenty of fish, but then people want that big one. Okay. So I went and did that, and then obviously I also did the baby one as well. The baby Bijigong for the bass and smaller cod areas. That's the bib. A lot of design technology in that as well. It's a polycarbonate bib, and to be able to change from one to the other with the screwdriver and screws. It's two lures in one. Yeah,
pretty much. So if you guys want a bit of a diver, change it. You want a wake bait, you got a wake bait. Yeah.
That's it. Wake bait or paddler.
Doesn't
right.
Yeah, paddler.
So that's it.
Yeah.
On that guy.
Yeah. Let me know if you guys got any more questions. Yeah. So, Matt, what is going to be the future for Barambah Lures? What are you going to? I mean, like in your near future, obviously. What are we looking at designing, or what are you looking at designing in the future? Like, you do want to expand a freshwater range or a saltwater range, or you know, what is the plans for Barambah in the future?
I don't know. Just sort of, these have just landed, so I'm going to be pushing these to get these out in the market and see how they go. Okay. I've got a few refinements and tweaks, like adaptations and modifications, which can be used with the screw-in feature on them. Okay. Because all 9 of my hard baits have got interchangeable features on them. Yeah. So you can make them, they're versatile. You can 2 bibs or different weights. Or with the yabbies, you can change the claws out to different colours.
Oh man.
So I've got a few things up my sleeve. Okay. But basically I've got a warehouse of stuff I need to move. Yeah.
So at the moment right now you're like, I don't want to work, I just need to sell this shit.
I need to sell this shit and go from there. But no, I do, I've got so much stocked up and so much ideas. Like every now and again I'll wake up in the middle of the night and have to write something down.
Oh, do you actually do that?
I got a paper beside my bed. Like I do want to do a range of soft plastics with a particular setup in the weights. Okay. To go with them, like so. And it's not just one type of plastic. So yeah, I do want to go into that range, but probably more mainstream stuff. Like I did concentrate a lot on the cod because that's where I started with the timber stuff. Yeah. But I probably want to get more into
the jags or
flathead, barra.
And I'm sure, I mean, like we had this conversation before we started this interview that you're like, Ivan, I really don't want to do something that everybody has done. Yeah. And you don't sell something everybody's, but knowing you probably come up with a jack lure that has got a propeller and the eyeball or something like that shoots lasers to shoot and cook your jack while you catch it, right? So, we're all looking forward to what Barambah is going to bring out in the future. Yeah. So that's great. Another thing I want to ask you, right? Like, So for anybody that actually wants to do what you want to do, do their timber lures. I mean, there's a lot of great. This year I went to the first lure show.
Yeah.
And it was great to see so many different timber lures and stuff like that. So for any of these boys that actually, all these lure makers, is there any advice you would give them, going plastics, or is there any advice you want to give to this, our homegrown timber lure makers?
Well, I was sort of part of that community for sort of 3 or 4 years, and still keep a hand in that. I'm going to still do some collectibles moving forward when I get a chance. But it is awesome. There's some awesome lure makers, so many creative guys out there that could take it to the next level. But there's so much also involved in doing the mass production route. Like, I've done 10 trips overseas to get this done. Like, I spent 18 months. I spent 3 months overseas developing this stuff and checking the painting, the production, the quality of everything, the packaging. Like, there's just so much, and to go in and do it, it's not something you can half do. Like, it's a massive step, and I was lucky I've had that 12 years with Pure Fishing to see how they operate and how they work, to be able to sort of use the fusion of the creative and creative lures into production and make it all happen. And it definitely can be done, but hats off to those guys who do the timber stuff.
There's always people like Dale Sinclair that dedicate his life for the timber lure. And when I see people, old guys like this, right, it really, really touches me, because these people do it out of love,
passion.
Like Fitzy that does it, and then you got Steve Morgan that supported him and stuff like that, these are the people that, everybody knows Steve Morgan. Not many people know about Fitzy. I don't know if anybody knows about Dale Sinclair, but these are all the heroes in our local fishing industry, our lure making, 100%. Grassroots and stuff like that. And honestly, it's really, really touching, because to be honest, I'm a trader. I just buy and sell. All right, my contribution to this industry is nothing compared to what they've done in the last 10 years. And it really gives me motivation when I see people actually put their heart and soul into this industry, and not just people that buy stuff from China and just release it and stuff like that. Like, there are traders and there are people that actually love what they do, and it's great to see in the Lure Expo people that
100% with Fitzy, how he got that up and running, and has been doing a great job, and then helped out by Steve Morgan for the last few years. But that Lure Expo is a massive platform for me to get exposure, and I'm going to keep on supporting that by releasing timber lures at the expo each year.
And it's really good. Like next week we're probably going to have Randy from Half Cast Customs. He did a pop-up. Man, Randy is an half Aboriginal boy. He's my friend, my travel buddy. Man, you should see his dog painting, and it's awesome. Like it's like the Lure Expo is a really great platform for you to showcase your art, your love. For fishing, and it's so good for. So you guys have never been, go and check it out. It's so cool, Okay. First thing first, Ming said to say hi. We were talking about Ming before we actually started. We were like, we were talking about Ming. So Ming, we were talking about you, thinking about you all the time. I'm sure Pure Fishing miss you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Another thing is, Robbie Rayner.
I've got to say quickly, Ming helped me design this shirt.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
he's a champion.
Yeah, I've known Ming we're pretty close friends. Like, so he's my insider in Pure Fishing, but he's not there anymore. So we wish you the best in whatever you do, Ming. The industry misses you, bro. And then, okay, so Robbie actually asked a question, right? Which is a really good question. How did you go at ICAST? And how was the feel over there? How was America? How was it?
It was tough. It was really tough.
Okay, why?
It is a massive thing. Like the Australian Lure Show's got about 60 or 70 exhibitors. ICAST's got 1,600.
Whoa, okay.
It is huge.
Is it a one-day event or
3 days?
Okay.
But it was a real eye-opener to how big the industry over there is, and how hard it is to be seen. Like,
because you got 16 different,
and people are just there's so much to see. They're in such a hurry. Like, it was hard to get people to stop and look. Like, when they did, and you could show them, they were they got it, but you've got to smack them between the eyes with a message. You got to have a really simple, clear message, and also I had to set things up. So.
I think in ICAST, right, this is what I heard from the people in the industry that's been before me and bigger than me. ICAST is a place, is either you have something that is really so eye-catching, or you have big budgets and you make like a
100%.
$1 million stage or something like that to catch the attention, you know. No. So that's what they tell me. I haven't been, so is it true?
Absolutely. It made me realise
how small we are,
how minnow I am, and how also what I would need to do to step up to that level to do it. So it's given me an idea. I'm going back.
Yeah, for sure. Carrying the Australian flag.
I know what I need to do now. And it's stepping up in a big way to have a crack at that. But it was a bit humbling actually. It was. I was pretty excited.
No matter how big you are in Australia, you're still a little fish in the fish pond.
I went from the Lure Expo where everyone knows me and everyone loves my lures to over there where no one knows me and didn't even stop to look at Yannick. So
but at least you're giving it a go, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to. How many people actually has the chance to go and give it a go?
Yeah, having a crack.
You know, it's not how many times you fail. I'm not saying that you fail. I'm just. It's not how many times, but it's how you make it better the next time and how we move forward. And you know what? All of us local boys are placing our bets on you. You know what I mean? So hopefully you can plant the flag for Australia and America. Okay, let me just check. Okay, Matt's going to ask a question. I'm not going to say the name or whatever, but Matt asked me, Matt Hill, which is my friend, asked me a question. Are you happy about the rip-off of your Matt Budgie lure, or is it flattering?
Oh no, it's a different design. Like he's doing a bird.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a different like.
It's more like a front.
Yeah, he's done a great job on it. It is what it is. So you're lucky if you get 12 months in the industry or something before someone copies it.
No, I wouldn't use the word copy, but shared idea. The sharing of knowledge and idea.
Yeah, no, it's a really good lure. No, I guess I actually started off with a design similar to that, but because I wanted to do both bib systems, I've changed it. So mine's both a paddler and a weight bait. It's a good lure, and he's done a really good job on it.
Okay, there you go, Matt. Your question answered.
Do you want to go through the prices on them quick before?
Oh, okay, you want to? I mean, everybody holds the same price anyway. This is one of the products that nobody actually bastardized. So, how much are? Okay, let's.
So this is top of the range is $80.
Okay.
Retail,
Yep.
And the bony shads and the lazy mullets are $39.95 retail.
Okay.
And then the little guys, the perch, the bidgewong and the mullet.
This one?
Yeah. So they're all $34.95.
Okay, so
they're not like some people think my lures are astronomical, but I mean these new ones are pretty.
Yeah, I mean like $34.95. That would be cheaper than a lot of jointed swim baits that come from Japan anyway. Yep. You know what I mean? So, and also the thought behind the lures. I mean, buy local, support the local lure designers, and Cool. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Matt, you think that you want to touch on? Before I ask you the last question?
No, I think that's about it. Thanks. I really appreciate the time to have a chat with you and go through it all.
No, that's awesome. I mean, as we are friends, and I'm always happy to help. So Matt, I'm going to ask you the question, right? So, what do you love about this industry? I'll ask you the first question. What do you love about this industry?
I don't know, it's a small industry, and when you've been in it, I've been in it for 17 years now, you get to know everyone in the industry, and you really can't take shortcuts anywhere because you'll get pulled up on it. But the fact that there's a lot of people know each other and sort of work off each other and work together, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy now working with the retailers. Because when I was doing nitro myself, 15 years ago, I had stores all over Australia. Now I'm back retailing again. A lot of them are still the same stores from back. Not a lot of them, but there's still
the same people.
that are still running. The good stores are
Still running till
doing
today.
a
Like, you know,
great job.
big good shops like Tackle Warehouse, they've been in the business for 40, 50 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, you know, it's not easy. I mean, I've been in this industry for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It's not easy running a tackle shop for
No.
40 years, you know.
No.
We are kind of like two different shops, and there are customers that like us and like them, but you know what? Great respect for Tackle Warehouse, you know. 40 years in this industry. Charlton's, how long has Charlton been?
Yeah, as long as I can remember.
Yeah, you know, these are all big names in the fishing industry, and you know, even though we all have our own little shops, is, you know, you got to give respect where respect is due, you know.
Yeah.
Big shops, yeah. Okay, so the other question I'm going to ask you is, what do you hate in the industry, and if you have the power, I mean, what do you hate in this fishing industry?
I guess it's a little bit tough. I don't like the way the poor timber guys do it tough, because it's really hard for them to sell retail because there's so much time and effort goes into it.
Yeah.
I guess I hate that I had to go to China to get this stuff made.
Yeah, but you know, you just can't. I mean, it's not really a few Australians' fault. It's the tax system, the labor cost, and you know what I'm trying to say.
That's I guess that's the toughest part of it, is I can't remain Australian made and compete on the same playing field with the guys I want to compete with. So that's the only thing. Like, you'd love to be able to support Australia and make it Australian made, and that's why massive hats off to those guys like Katafara and guys who do it on a big level in Australia and make a living out of the timber stuff. So that's probably the toughest thing. And also, when you go to AFTA, it's big guys. There's not a lot of little guys, and creativity and you know, ideas that sort of are able to be supplied at the retail level. I
think, I know what you're trying to say. You know, you wish you could bring everybody into the next level. You see, like even for our shop, we were actually, me and Humphrey and Randy were actually talking about seriously in the future, stocking a section for all Australian-made timber lures. You know what I mean? Just for us, maybe in the future. You know, but obviously the production and stuff like that is always going to be a challenge for Australian-made price, and you know, and the production for the Australian-made stuff is always going to be a challenge in a retail shop like us. So, like this year, after the Lure Tackle Show, we actually got Bestman, right? Bestman lures, and I mean, I came back today. I've been in the Gold Coast. I came back today from to Underwood, and I was like, Humphrey, where's all the Bestman? Is it, bro? They've been selling. So you know, you know, there's a lot of good Australian companies there, and hopefully, you know, all of them, I wish us as a retail store can help them, and hopefully they can bring them to the next level and showcase our Australian-made lures into the world. So thank you, Matt, for a great night. Sorry guys, a bit of technical issues. Humphrey and Jeremy's been still here. They're not getting paid overtime because I'm Asian, but next, you're hungry? No, we're not getting paid overtime, bro. Yeah, but anyway, next week I'll have another one of my best friends, right? Randy Keeble. I think he won Blue Water Best Blue Water Lure in the Lure Expo and stuff. So Randy will hopefully be here talking to us about, I don't know, our fishing trips, and maybe also how he made his lure, why he made his lure, and hopefully I'll get Randy to come in for an interview next week. So thank you so much, man. It was a great pleasure, you know, picking your brain and stuff like that. So guys, I'll see you guys next week. Most likely on Thursday, could be Wednesday, depending on schedules. But thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week with Randy. All right.
Cheers.